Fire for them, fire for them. If you're looking for that 35 bag umbrella and all damn thing there, keep it locked with DISUNOMICS podcast.
Yo people, welcome back to another Monday morning news. Let's get straight into it. First things first, streets are open in volume 1. Although this is step 2, I call it volume 1 because what happened at the end of March wasn't really an opening. Yeah, we could go outdoors, whoop-de-doo. But April the 12th, May 17th, June the 21st, those are the 3 different volumes, and we're in volume 1. So by the time you're hearing this, or watching this, shall I say, volume 1 would have happened, and that's Monday, 12th of April. Things are opening up somewhat. So what has changed? Well, non-essential shops are back. So you'll be able to go into your JD Sports, your Harrods, your Selfridges, your Primarks, and these socks. Can't wait for that. All these type of non-essential shops, they'll be back open for you to come in. No more click and collect. A desire click and collect. I hated waiting there for time. Very, very jarring. So that's back. Personal care is back. As you can see in every video you've been seeing, I've been wearing a hat. Why? Because the last time I had a haircut was December 13th. Absolutely egregious. January, February, March, April. 4 months. 16 odd weeks or so, no trim. I can't wait. The eyebrow lady, nail shop, hairdressers, all these places will be opening up. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can get on fleek again. I don't think that's even cool to say anymore, but whatever. Also, public buildings such as libraries and community centres will be back open, so you can take your kids to the library, or your kids can go to community centres or whatnot. Outdoor hospitality, which I know a lot of people are excited about. I have some friends talking about brunches and stuff, so outdoor beer gardens, outdoor bars, outdoor restaurants will now be able to be opened, so you might be able to grab a cheeky boozy brunch and a nice bevy, but of course table service only. So that's one of the key rules of that. Also, most outdoor attractions such as zoos, drive-in cinemas, drive-in concerts, what else, theme parks, they'll be open up as well. The Young Alton Towers. Childcare is back. Weddings, you can get weddings, or what's it called? They call it civil partnerships, up to 15 guests. This does not include the people that are working on a day. Self-contained accommodation will be open for overnight stay with your household or support bubble. So Airbnbs will be more accommodating, what have you, mate. Whereas before it was meant to be for like work reasons and stuff like that. You still cannot meet anybody indoors unless you live with them or unless they're part of your social bubble. So you can't have house parties or gatherings, although I'm seeing hella bays with all the balloons, everything, and nice dresses. It's looking wavy, and let me not lie, I'm just here to report the news. I don't blame you, I'll be the same. No cap. Also, you can meet friends and family outdoors, and this is you can mix all different types of households up to a limit of 6. So the rule of 6 is back. However, if it's 2 households, specifically if it's just 1 household or 2 households, you can have an unlimited amount if it's 2 households. Obviously, in a household, there is a limited amount of people. You're gonna have 50 people in one household. So that is the next step. As of now, as soon as you're watching this video, these are the things that you now are able to do. And of course, I even forgot to say, the gyms are back. Indoor facilities, leisure facilities such as basketball, badminton, squash, dance classes, and the gym's back. Fantastic. We can get our games ready for summer. Now, speaking of summer, everybody's always like, yo, DISUNOMICS, what's happening to travel? All my friends, got friends trying to go to Mexico. I'm trying to go to Jamaica. I've got friends trying. Now, we've been given some information. So Transport Secretary Grant Shapps has been speaking this week, and good news, I'll say, yeah, this is good news. So they've been speaking about the earliest we're going to see travel is going to be May 17th. Now we've got some more confirmation. So they're saying May 17th is still the target date, and as things stand, it's looking good. But there's going to be a new system introduced, traffic light system. Not very creative, but everybody knows what traffic light is. Red, amber, and green. Very, very simple. So this is what's going to happen. Green will be, you don't have to quarantine when you get back. So let's say the green country is Nigeria, for example. I can jet off to Nigeria, enjoy young shawarma, Chapman, suya, party, come back, good. I don't have to quarantine for 10 days. I don't have to go to a quarantine hotel. All I need to do is get a PCR test, which I'm going to speak about in a bit more detail in a minute, 2 days after I've been back. Now, you still have to test negative before you go, so you can do a lateral flow test, which we can get free. So you can do a lateral flow test and also maybe taking that lateral flow test with you so you can get back to the country with a proof of a lateral flow test. But 2 days after, PCR test. Now, PCR test currently costs anywhere between £60 and in some places in central London, £214. The average price is around £120 right now. So let's just say £120 you're looking at from 2 days after you have come back from a green listed country. Now, amber is the quarantine thing. So if you go to amber country, come back again, you test before you go, test on your way back, you have to quarantine for 10 days. And during this 10-day period, on the second day, you take a PCR test, £120 potentially. And on the 8th day, you take a PCR test for £120. Now, the red countries, or the red list, which we've spoken about on DISUNOMICS before and on the Monday morning news, these are countries blacklisted, yeah, or red listed. And if you go to these countries and you're coming back, first of all, travel is forbidden anyway, but if you go to these countries and you're coming back, you will have to enter a quarantine hotel, which is going to cost you an arm and a leg. You have to be there for 2 days, and also you have to pay for the PCR testing. So you have to pay £120 on the second day, £120 on the 8th day. Now, currently, if we're looking at the red listed countries, here's some countries I'll give to you. So in the Middle East, you've got Oman, Qatar, United Arab Emirates. In Africa, Angola, Botswana, Burundi, Cape Verde, Democratic Republic of Congo, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Kenya, Lesotho, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Rwanda, Seychelles, which is a beautiful place, I want to go. Somalia, South Africa, Tanzania, again, I want to go. Zambia and Zimbabwe. In Asia, you've got Bangladesh, Pakistan, and the Philippines. And in South America, you've got some more countries as well. Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, French Guinea, Guyana, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Suriname, Uruguay, and Venezuela. So there's about 40 countries currently in the red list. Now, countries can be added or removed with hours notice. So you can literally be, do you know what I mean? I'm going Ghana, which isn't on the red list currently, and boom, man slap on the red list. You're toast. Remember, because you have to book the quarantine hotel before you get back anyway. Now, one thing that's important to note is the process. So Transport Secretary Grant Shapps have said, yo, how are we going to determine which country fits into which criteria? It's quite simple. We're going to assess the level of vaccinations in these countries. So are a lot of people getting vaccinated? Is a lot of the population vaccinated? Is there been really no vaccination progress? And of course, the prevalence of any new variants. So you don't want no new variants being imported into the UK that's going to jeopardize the integrity of our vaccinations currently. So now what the streets are saying is Malta, Gibraltar, United Arab Emirates, which includes Dubai of course, Israel, United States, are countries that are likely to be in the green list because they have a very high vaccination rollout so far. I was reading today, according to CBS, or might be CNBC, or might be NBS, one of my other places, I think 1 in 5 adults in America are fully vaccinated. They've had a mad vaccination drive. So those could be some of the countries. Now, in terms of when we're going to find out what country is where, Grant Shapps to the Transport Sector did indicate early May. So the aviation industry's got time to prepare and all that type of stuff. But currently there is a bit of hoo-ha about the PCR test. Remember I said PCR tests can range from 60 quid up to £214, currently around 100, £120. Grant Shapps, the Transport Sec, Boris Johnson himself, the Prime Minister, the aviation industry, they're all expressing concerns at the current pricing. Because think about it, if you want to take a family holiday to Ghana, for example, and your family of 6, and Ghana is in the amber, that's 120 quid times by 6, twice. You have to you have to pay £120 on the second day, and again £120 potentially again on the 8th day. It's a lot of money. So Boris Johnson said it will be quite unfair. He wants families to go on a holiday, which I'm quite in the middle of it. Obviously my compassionate side is like, yeah, you want people who have not been able to travel be able to afford to travel, especially families, because it hasn't been there for a long time. But at the same time, like business integrity, if this is what I've set my price as, this is a price, this is a skill. So I don't know. So they're working on trying to reduce the price. I'm not sure it's going to be a government subsidy or they're going to pressurize them. I don't know. So yeah, that is something to look out for. And a very interesting thing, which looks at the Amber Group. There's a thing called test to release scheme. And test to release is where some countries can take the test 5 days into their isolation period. And if they test negative, they could break it. So on the test to release scheme, you can choose to pay for private COVID-19 tests. If it's also negative, you can end your quarantine. You cannot take the test until you've been in England for 5 full days. Now, to take part in the scheme, you need to either book a test with one of the private test centre providers. So there's a list of them. I'll put in the description. Choose to opt into the scheme on the passenger locator form as well. You ask enter details on the test and passenger locator form, and you must do this to take part in the scheme. So that is how that works. So look out for that, people, in case you're travelling to an amber country. Now, on a more solemn note, Richard Okorogheye, and I believe this is a either Igbo or Delta name, so pronunciation to his family and my people from Igbo and Delta, Yoruba, so I might not got pronunciations entirely right. And it's the first time I come across this name. This is very sad, and as I was doing my research, obviously I've seen it on social media, seen the news, and I was sad. But when I was actually doing my research to get my facts right for the pod, I can't lie, it did really slap me, and I don't really feel emotional for too many things. Of course, rest in peace DMX, which is earlier this week. But even that was sad, but this hit me different. So Richard Okorogheye, a 19-year-old boy, he studied, I believe he studied IT at university. He's suffering from sickle cell. On March 22nd, he left his house pretty late at night without his phone, without a jacket, without any form of identification, without medication. And previously, he's only been leaving his house for blood transfusion because, of course, he suffers from sickle cell. His mother, Mrs. Okorogheye, said she claimed that when she first called the police, I think he left on a Sunday, she hit him up on maybe on a Monday. They did nothing. The initial told him that he's an adult who can go out and come back whenever he wanted. I said he's a young adult. He has a medical condition. He has left home without his medication. She said he has no jacket, no money, so I'm worried. I'm concerned about his well-being. And their response was, sorry. She says every time she called them, there was no update. She said, if you're doing something, there should be a result. They kept telling her there's no update. That was not very encouraging. Now, unfortunately, 2 weeks later, or almost 2 weeks later, they found this young man's body in a pond in Epping Forest, which is in like east of London, on Tuesday, 6th of April. His death has been treated as unexplained. The police currently do not believe there was anyone else involved. They said a post-mortem found no evidence of physical trauma or assault, but they said they're still going to conduct investigations. So look out for more information regarding that. The police watchdog is assessing whether the Met needs to be investigated. Apparently this is routine. So the IOPC, so that's the independent independent office for police conduct, is going to look into this. But yeah, this is just all around sad. With the police conduct, I understand them saying he's a young adult, he's left without certain things, so it seems like he's left his own volition. He doesn't seem too suspicious, but at the same time, our mother is reiterating, and the mother will know better than the police. This is odd, and on reading this on further information, it was troubling. And just seeing this young man's CCTV footage in Loughton, it was just troubling to me. So rest in peace. My condolences with his friends and family, and I don't know what to say. So I thought I should update the streets on that, especially with information regarding how the police are viewing his death currently, what they're going to do looking into his death, and also potentially looking into the conduct of the Met Police with how they handled his disappearance. And to round this video up, Alibaba, many of us have heard of Alibaba, massive e-commerce company in China. They have been fined and fined heavily by Chinese regulators, and they have been on a mad crackdown for some time. They fined 18.2 million Chinese yuan, which works out to about just over £2 billion, so it's a hefty fine. And this is for abusing market dominance. Obviously, they're a very dominant force. So what they were found to do is, since 2015, according to Financial Times, regulators have said since 2015, they have forced merchants into exclusive deals Man, I'll say, listen, you have to sell exclusively on Tmall and Taobao. They had a man them in 360 deals, running around like Suge Knight and them, man, running around like Diddy, running around like Birdman. So Chinese government, Chinese regulators like, nah, this is not fair. This is not. You're not operating in good faith. Not allowing there to be a free market. And this fine is hefty. Works out to about 4% of Alibaba's 2019 revenue. So it's quite a hefty fine. Not going to dent the books, but it's significant enough. So yeah, that's this week's Monday morning wrap up. Please let me know your thoughts on the Met Police's handling of Richard's unfortunate passing and disappearance. Let me know what your thoughts on Alibaba, and let me know how you're feeling. Are you going to travel? Are you a fan of the red, green, amber system? What do you think of the PCR test? Do you think they should come down? And of course, how are you feeling about the shops opening and gyms and what have you made? And of course, make sure to subscribe below. Make sure you share this. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And what else should I say? Oh yeah, my podcast. Make sure you subscribe. All the links will be below. And on to next week. Peace and blessings.